If you want to increase your power without giving up consistency, in fact, being more consistent in the batter's box, then this video is for you. I'm going to show you the major concepts that we've used with over 55 of our major league hitters and tens of thousands of athletes all across the country. Here are 3 checkpoints that you want to be looking at in your swing and have an understanding of each one. So hitters, when they're in their stance, a lot of times they want to simplify things and get wide. Well, think of this, just like when you're going to throw the ball as hard as you can, you're not starting wide to throw the ball. You're literally shuffling your feet as close as you can together to then create that stretch in the swing. So a lot of times when hitters get wide, that's it. You're now eliminating the legs in the swing. So you're really now working top down, where in reality, we want to be working from the ground up. So just like if you were going to jump up as high as you can, you don't start already hinged over and down. You're literally trying to get as tall as you can to create a stretch reflex. So a simple way is when you want to increase your power, we don't want to change the style of the hitter, but a simple thing is get your feet a little closer together and get a little taller in your swing so you can have some more movement to create power. Which then takes us to concept number 2 is how to gather into the legs. The 2 incorrect ways hitters gather in their swing is they either 1, sway back, or they 2, quad load. So let's talk about the first one, swaying back. Think of it as you're a third baseman going to turn a triple play. Ground ball hit to you, you're stepping on the bag, putting force into the ground. You're not stepping on the bag and rocking into the third base dugout. You're stepping into the bag, keeping the weight on the inside part of the leg. And as the legs go one way, that upper half's going the other way. If you're a lefty, you're a first baseman, you're stepping on the bag and throwing that seed to second base, creating that sequence in the swing. So we don't want to be swaying back. We want to putting force into the ground, making sure that the hip is staying inside the knee and the knee is inside that foot. The second way we see it is that quad load. So the biggest muscles in the body is the posterior chain, the low back, the glutes, and the hamstrings. Those are the muscles that we want to be engaging when we're going into the negative move, into the gather. We want to make sure that when we're gathering, that the knee isn't tracking over the toe, because then we're loading up the quad. The hitter pops up, shoots the hands down. We're not engaging the big muscles in the body. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter how you want to start in the swing, but what we want to be seeing is that hinge in that back hip, activating the glutes and the hamstrings. No different if you were going to do a barbell squat, a deadlift, or simply sitting in your chair. The third concept that you want to have a good understanding of is the sequence of how you gather into the swing. So a lot of times what we see with hitters is that when they go into their negative move and they're gathering with the lower half, they're also loading up the hands. Well, what happens there is that when we load the top half and the bottom half at the same time, now when we go forward, the hands are now getting in front of the lower half. Where just like that analogy, like when we throw the baseball, the legs are going one way, the arms are going in the opposite direction. The same thing happens when we hit. We want to be loading up the legs, and as we make our positive move forward, that's when we're pulling that arm back and getting that knob to the catcher and setting ourselves in that good hitting position. So that's where a lot of times why you see hitters when they land, their barrel is dumping, the elbow is crashing already down. It's because they're loading at the same time they're doing with their legs. And if you really want a deep understanding in that concept, a lot of times that's because they're not getting going on time with the pitcher. When the pitcher breaks the hands is when we want to be loading up the legs. When the pitcher throws the ball, that's when we're moving forward, timing the ball. Well, if your hitter's waiting for the ball to get thrown, to get going and loading up the legs, that's where a lot of times that stems from. Well, shit, now the ball's on me. I need to start loading up those arms, and now I'm landing with everything crashing at the same time, and you're out of sequence. Now you're working from top down, not bottom up. So here are a few drills that you could use to train and feel those concepts. Getting into the stance part, the crossover drill is great because it really over-exaggerates being with the feet as close as possible and being as vertical as possible. So at the end of the day, you're just crossing your feet over, and then this is where you really want that hitter to feel how it is to sit in that chair. That first move being back with the hinge. Now we're really starting to engage that posterior chain. That could be a progression from just simply doing it dry to the tee to front toss and really feeling the progression on how to get into the legs. The second drill, we would go into the flamingo. At the end of the day, it's backside mechanics. So as a right-handed hitter, you're just getting into that back leg, front leg as high as you can, starting as vertical as you can. And again, and not feeling the quad load, but the hinge, the butt going backwards, engaging those glutes and hamstrings, and then controlling it with that backside. The front foot is going to land. Just like when you throw the baseball, you're not worrying about what happens with the front foot. You're driving off that backside. The front foot is going to land. So the flamingo drill is great for the hitter to feel engaging that back side of the body and then controlling the move forward. The hitter now can time the ball. And when he recognizes off speed pitch, change up, he's able to now hover and control his forward move to time the baseball. And with the third concept, teaching the sequence of the swing, again, if you're a righty-righty, this should be a natural move for you. Literally think you're a third baseman turning that triple play. So you just get a bucket of balls and all you're going to be feeling is stepping onto the bag. And then as the legs go forward, that arm's going back, just like how you throw a baseball. So that's why this is so easy for a righty-righty. You want to feel that throw to second. Now, this is where if you're a left-handed hitter, righty thrower, probably one of the best drills for you to understand is now thinking you're a first baseman, lefty thrower, and you got to step on first base and throw that rifle to second. My righty throwers, lefty hitters, I'm sure the first time you do this, it's going to look terrible. And think about it over months, years. If every day, 40, 50 throws, you're stepping on that bag, learning how to engage that lower half, and then create that separation where if you're going to be able to throw that rifle to second, being a right-handed thrower, lefty, I'm telling you that with your swing, or the left-handed swing, it's going to help dramatically because it's going to put you into that sequence. So we just covered 3 concepts on how to increase your power and also at the same time helping your consistency. Because 1, we're starting in a more athletic position. We're eliminating any wasted movement or a negative move. And when we're landing in a consistent, good athletic hitting position, not having the hands crashing forward, creating out of sequence. We then gave you a couple of drills so the hitter could feel how it is to train those concepts. Another thing that's going to be now great for your hitters is showing them what's happening in their swing. So make sure you go to the Gradum GSWING website, find the facility near you, do the swing evaluation so we can visually show you exactly what's happening in the swing, and then you can start implementing those concepts in your everyday training. Look forward to seeing you guys soon.